Hey everyone, we are on day 4 of my live streams. I've committed to you that I will be here with a little tidbit that's going to help you on your leadership journey every single weekday in the month of November. I'm Amber Hurdle, founder of the Velvet Machete Leadership Academy, where we help you define and position your values so that you can become a confident, compassionate leader in an ever changing world. We're ultimately here to amp up your influence. So, this evening, if you're watching live, we're going to be talking about how to get some clues to help you develop your personal brand. If I'm asked something all the time, it's like, where do I even begin? How do I know what makes me special? And so, I'm going to give you 3 quick tips that you can implement immediately so that you can start to figure out some common threads that makes you different than other people like you. And when I say other people like you, I mean if you're in financial services, lots of people are in financial services. What makes you relevant? What makes you the best candidate? What makes you the person who should get that sexy assignment at work? If you're a personal brand like me, where your face is on a book, well, there's a lot of speakers out there. Why would you want to work with Amber? There's a lot of coaches, there's a lot of trainers out there. Why would you want to work with me? So it's really important that you have that unique perspective, just like any type of brand that is an external facing brand, Nike, Southwest, Amex. Why would we want to give them money as opposed to their competition? So, the first thing that I want you to do is follow your breadcrumbs. Now, in The Bombshell Businesswoman, my first book, chapter 9, there are all kinds of questions in here that will help guide you through doing this. I'm going to give you the kind of quick and skinny on it. When I say follow your breadcrumbs, I want you to get in the Wayback Machine and I want you to look for the common threads that you have in all areas of your life. So you might go back to junior high, you might go back to high school, you might go back to college, or just consistently throughout your career. What was it that people knew about you? What did people say about you? Angel, what's up? Hey, Angel. Okay, if you're watching this on LinkedIn or whatever, and you're not live streaming with me, just understand this is a live stream and I'm going to give people a shout out in the middle of it. So just stay with me, okay? So, what made you special? What were your values? What lit you up when you're able to do it? And one question I always like to ask is in junior high, what was it that you gave up to fit in? Or did you? And if you didn't and you did not fit in, then that's a really groovy place to start because that is that unique thing. And in junior high, it's like you don't want to be unique. You want to just fit in and be vanilla because that's what you do in junior high, unless you're like me and that just was never a thing because you're given darn busted when you were born. So, first things first, follow your breadcrumbs. Okay. Secondly, I want you to review your body of accomplishments. Now, what does that mean? Well, I wrote a book. Uh, in Bloomberg Business Week, Entrepreneur Magazine, Fortune Magazine. I could point to my wall with all of my awards. I can talk about the number of people that I've impacted, how many podcast downloads I've had. We're on the struggle bus of building a YouTube channel. We'll get around to really promoting that down the road. But you really want to look at like what have I accomplished? And it doesn't have to be awards. It could be that your marketing campaign that you were in charge of had, 1 million impressions. The example I always like to use is Deborah Lee James, who is the former Secretary of the Air Force. I had the privilege of listening to her. If you want that full interview, just go back to the Bombshell Business podcast and look for Deborah Lee James. She was one of the last episodes that I did. And when I read her bio, she didn't just rest her laurels on she was the second female to ever hold that position. I mean, that's really impressive, but that wasn't enough. She equated it to a multi-billion dollar, and she gave very specific numbers, a multi-billion dollar industry or a multi-billion dollar company with however many thousands of people. That was the equivalent of what she did in the Air Force. She put hard numbers around it. Now, as you all know, I coach and train and teach men and women, but women, I'm going to talk to you specifically right now because I see so many more women forgetting to attach the numbers to it. I see LinkedIn profiles and I'm like, where's the numbers? If you've done things, if you're in PR, if you're in marketing, if you are the HR director, how many people? I led the PR and the internal PR employee relations program for 4,000 employees at Gaylord Opryland and its attractions. 4,000 people were under my charge every single day to ensure that they were satisfied as employees. I had my team, certainly wasn't me. It was all of us together, and it took so many people in that organization. Shout out to all of my co-stars who might be watching this. But that's a very different story, 4,000 versus 400. And so it's important to use those numbers when you're building your personal brand and you're trying to understand the scope of what it is and how you're going to position yourself. And then the third thing that I invite you to do is just shoot a text message or an email to people that you trust, some of your friends. And Angel, I hope you're taking notes. I want you to come back. I want you to email me, amber@amberhurdle.com, and I want to see what you come up with for your personal brand. Okay. So the third thing is email your friends, put out a tweet, put out a Facebook, Snapchat, whatever it is that you do, TikTok, put your little brains out and ask, what one thing do I undervalue about myself? What? Yes, you will find a theme there. People will specifically see what you can't see because it's hard for us to use our superpowers on ourselves. It's hard for us to see the forest for the trees. Okay, so now you have your breadcrumbs. You followed your breadcrumbs. You've looked to your past to see consistently what it is that makes you special, what it is that lights your heart on fire. You're going to review your body of accomplishments. And you're going to put numbers behind it. And then you're going to ask your people, what one thing do I undervalue? And once you have those things together, we won't get deep in this today, but you can start to look at your brand story. You can start to see what it is that culminates. Now, for me, I have always been about communication and engagement. In fact, those are two of the steps that you take on the Velvet Machete journey is mastering your communication style and mastering engagement, okay? Always a part of my job, is something that I did all throughout school. If you wanted somebody on student council, I was there. I created with my three best girlfriends. The junior high at the private school that I went to in Southern California did not have its own yearbook, so by gosh, we made one. We photocopied that stuff. I mean, we maneuvered. We changed heaven and earth to make sure that we were able to have that. And I wish I had it up here. I've got it in a box in the attic. I'll have to show you some other time. But that was all the way back to junior high. I wanted to communicate and I wanted to engage and bring people together and make them feel special. So that's something in my breadcrumbs. I already showed you some of my body of accomplishments. And the thing that people often say about me that I undervalue, because I'm all the velvet machete, right? And I'm going to shoot you straight. And I'm pretty hard knocks about things because I had that hard knock life, is that I'm very vulnerable and I'm very compassionate and I'm very empathetic, and there's this huge soft side to me. Huge, lots of velvet that wraps around this machete, but that's still not enough. Part of my story is also being a teen mom. So you can't take that from me. You can put me up against 500 other female speakers, but are they from the South? Are they a teen mom who literally discovered personal branding because by the skin of her teeth she had to, because that's how she positioned herself to get out from behind the eight ball and to get into a very professional, highly respected opportunity to be able to consult with CEOs and celebrities and that sort of thing. And I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm just saying that nobody else has my story and nobody else has your story. And the way that we promote our personal brand isn't by saying, well, I was in Fortune magazine. Oh, that's not how you do it. You can tell your story when the opportunity is appropriate by saying, like, well, when I was featured in Fortune magazine, this is what happened, here's the outcome, and here's how that same outcome can happen in this particular instance that you're trying to position yourself for, because that's what personal branding is all about, right? It's about defining and positioning your value so that you attract the right people and opportunities to your life, and also so once those people and opportunities are there, that you're the most influential you can possibly be. So I hope that you will take those 3 tips to discovering your personal brand to heart. Do your homework like Angel's going to do. I see you in the comments, and make sure that you follow me on YouTube. Make sure that you follow me. It's Amber Hurdle. I think it's Amber Hurdle Fan on YouTube and also Facebook. On Twitter, where we're periscoping right now, it's just at Amber Hurdle. And like, comment, review, share, all that good stuff. And if you want to understand more about your leadership style and your leadership personality, then I absolutely encourage you to take my leadership personality quiz at amberhurdle.com amberhurdle.com/leadership quiz, amberhurdle.com/leadership quiz. And I will share with you what you likely can leverage to make you your most influential. And then I'll also let you know what you might need to bubble wrap because it's just not as helpful to really positioning your personal brand. So that's my gift to you. There is no opt-in required. I hope that you'll go over there and check that out. I will pop up at some time tomorrow when I get a chance. And then, like I said, the past couple of days, maybe we can get on some kind of a schedule so you know when I'll pop up and you can ask questions. So, Angel, thanks for joining me, and I will see y'all tomorrow.